What is up, guys? Today I come to you yet with another weekly review of Yuri on Ice, and we're at episode 4, and we're getting very close to the start of the events of the Grand Prix Finals. Of course, this episode focuses on more Yuri and Yurio. Remember, Yurio being back in Russia now, and Yuri is staying back in Japan with Victor after he won his matchup in the Hatsu Castle competition between him and Yurio. So Yuri is trying to find a way to compose music that he can use when he does his performances, where Yurio is in Russia and now he has to become a prima ballerina. Now, to start off things on Yuri's side, he has difficulty trying to compose music because when you're a figure ice skater and you hear the music, most of the times they have either their coaches composing the music for them or they compose it, and it's either going for an okay or not by the coach. There was one time where Yuri did compose his own music, but it did not sit well with his coach, so usually his coach would bring about the music. And the reason for that was because the music that he composed, when he asked one of the students that was back in Thailand, it hit too close to home. It fit too much with who he was and how he represented himself as a skater, that probably it did not bring out all the potential in it. It wouldn't have brought out all the potential. It was so good that it didn't feel any different. It felt like it was something expected of him instead of something that was unexpected. So that's why his previous coach did not use that piece. Of course, he's trying to figure out what he can use and what he can bring to the table so that viewers can see that, this is a brand new Yuri. Things that you did not see from him before, you're going to see something totally unexpected from him. And Yurio, he has now a ballerina, a previous prima ballerina by the name of Lilia, and I cannot pronounce her last name, so I will not, but she is a very strict character, and she does not play around. She always expects the best. She expects you to be perfect, and she does not allow any mistakes at all, and she's giving Yurio hell. But it was a good thing that Yurio went back to Russia, because if he did not, and he was still learning under the tutelage of Victor, probably he would not have been able to bring out a side of him, whereas he pushes aside his arrogance and try to open himself up more, and that way he can become a better skater by pushing aside all these other parts because of his arrogance, that they explained that since no one in his age group was able to surpass him, that's how he built on that. But what his tutor is doing to him, his coach, is trying to break down those walls, trying to bring out a more emotional side to Yurio that we have not seen and that we will see in the upcoming episodes. Now, there was an introduction of a new character by the name of Pitchin, and he and Yuri seems to have a very good relationship, and he's in Thailand, so we're going to probably see him go up against Yuri when it comes up to these competitions. One thing I do have to say is that in this episode, when it came down to the beach scene, I love the way that they handled that scene, because they were talking about how Yuri, he's basically talking about himself and how he wasn't sure of himself. He basically was like, I didn't have confidence in myself and I didn't want people to look down on me. But he realized that the people that he had surrounding him, Minako sensei, Yuki-chan, his parents, his sister, they were all there for him without going over the edge, going out his comfort zone to push him into something that he didn't want. And we have where Victor bring up this topic saying that he was asking Yuri what he wants to be to him. Like, does he want to be a father figure, if he want him to be a brother, a friend, and even a lover. Now, it was thanks to the people on Tumblr when they translate, because Victor had used that same word, kobito, back in episode 2, and it's actually a translation for lover. Now, the translation here is saying boyfriend, but you can still put it in any way, but kobito meaning lover, so it's a more general term used. And that's when Victor said, do you want me to be a lover? I'll try my very best, which Yuri responded saying, no. Now, some people may be upset on how Yuri reacted to that, but listen, that was expected of him, because all this time Yuri has looked at Victor as someone that was out of his reach. He looked at Victor as like a god. Like, he was on such a high pedestal that there was no way that these two can ever cross paths. And the fact that, this video had leaked out and that Victor saw and came all the way from Russia to Japan to coach him, he cannot believe it. It's like a dream come true. And for him to react that way, he only wants Victor to be himself, because he didn't want Victor to be, for him, a lover is like the last thing on his mind. Not that I'm saying that it can't happen in episodes later down, because like how their relationship is growing, which I might add is a very healthy way of growing, is a mutual trust between the two. But right now he's focusing on just having Victor as his coach, and the fact that it's like a give and take with mutual trust between the two, in hopes that he can, bring home like the medal home. So that being said, like, don't get upset with Yuri because of the way he responded, because it was very natural for him to respond that way. Just, give it time for him to become more open with Victor. So now that being said, we get later into the episode where Yuri has composed his own music, which I might add, it was the same background music that was used in one of the promotional videos that they had, and you could basically say it's Yuri's theme, which I found to be really awesome, and they called it Yuri on Ice. So they made a played with the title of this series, using the title and putting it into the series. Now we have where they said there was assignments that were being assigned, because now Yuri is assigned to go ice skate against other competitors, and his first event is in China, where he will be facing off against Pitchin and other competitors. And then his second assignment, which is the sixth event, will be in Russia, where he will be facing against Yurio. So if he manages to do good in China, then he's going to be pitted up against Yurio, and then we'll see from there. And there's a total of 6 events. So if you do good in the 2 events, then you automatically move to go to the Grand Prix Finals, which is the 6 competitors, and then we'll see who will be the winner from there. So we saw from both sides where Yurio is going to push aside from himself and, start to open himself, like put away his arrogance and try to become more open, be more flexible with himself, even to the point of becoming a prima ballerina. And we see where Yuri is being more confident in making his own choices. So it was a really good episode. The animation for the skating was kind of like episode 3, where it was lacking, but I'm guessing when it comes down to the competitions, they're gonna amp it up a lot. The art is, as always, still doing good, very standard. So it was a very good episode. I cannot wait when they start the matches, as well as the first person that Yuri is going to be facing up against is the person that he lost to the year before, by the name of Minami Kenjiro. And he's going to look like a very difficult opponent that Yuri is going to have to overcome if he wants to reach the stage that he's aiming for. So if you saw this week's episode of Yuri on Ice, episode 4, do drop a comment down below on what your thoughts were on this episode. The links are always in the description box, so you guys go check that out. And I'm Kimmy Chan of Anime Legends Podcast, and I will see you guys later. Bye!